Yeah, good afternoon. Well, from sunny Albany down in Western Australia for me, and in Nowra, beautiful New South Wales town for Brims. How are you, Brims?
Yeah, going good, Johnny. How about you, mate?
Yeah, enjoying the holiday over here in the Wild West. It's a beautiful part of the world, and yeah, enjoying the rugby too.
Excellent. It'd be good to catch up with the kids and the grandkids too, I expect, mate. Well done.
Yeah, no, a lot of fun. And of course, for those who don't know Brims, Greg Brimble, he was a former Marlborough Red Devil and King Country number 8, loose forward, and Brims, we've been watching the Black Ferns and pretty impressive against Wales, although their coach wasn't entirely happy, Wayne Smith.
No, he wasn't, was he? The professor's looking for a lot more accuracy by the sounds of it. But he'd be a hard man to please as well. But he's done a terrific job, and isn't it great to watch watch the Black Ferns enjoying themselves and playing expansive rugby, expansive attacking rugby, and making the use of the ball that they've got as well. They're not one dimensional at all, are they? And it was a fantastic win over Wales, and they certainly took it up another step from against Australia in the opening round of the World Cup the previous weekend, John.
Yeah, they certainly did. Yeah, 56, 12, 10 tries to 2 is pretty convincing, but there'll be a few alarm bells about, Wales got the better of them in a few scrums, and especially in the first half, and also scored from a couple of line-out drives, albeit when the Black Ferns were 2 players short in the bin near the end there, but it's something they've still got to improve if they're going to have a chance against England.
Well, exactly, and that's what I was thinking as well. That they got better in the scrums and in the forward exchanges and in their set pieces as the game progressed. But certainly, the Welsh had the better of them in the first half, and a very powerful scrum the Welsh woman had, and a strong line out. They're obviously very well coached in their set pieces, and you did right. That would be a worry, I think, for Wayne Smith and the team as they look forward, especially against the likes of England, who have a very very powerful forward pack. And if Wales can dominate us in those opening exchanges of that game on Saturday, like they did, then we're in for a bit of a torrid time against England. So we've got a couple of work ons there, John. But I don't want to be negative about it because it was a really good win, and they did get better, and their scrum did improve considerably as the game went on, and some replacements were made too, because it was in a sense a second 15 that they fielded. Some of their key players like Kendra Coxage and that weren't playing, but yeah, some work ons there, but a little bit of work to do, but pretty encouraging if you compare it to where we were last year. This
Oh,
time last year, John.
well, we're light years ahead of that. You did right there. And I thought Crystal Murray, the impressive prop from Northland, came on the second half. She made a real difference, and
Oh,
just taking it straight up the guts. Along with, I thought Maya Roos played superbly, and Chelsea Bremner as well. And yeah, but my player of the match, I don't know about you, was Ruahi Demant, the captain, first 5. She was Dan Carter like.
yes, she was, wasn't she? And she's a real character as well. The co-captain of the Black Ferns, and when she was asked after the game what Wayne Smith said to them at the halftime talk, she replied, "I don't know. I've forgotten." but I mean, she is. It was just there's just a natural beauty and personality that they have, and I think Rohini Demantis, she shows all of those qualities of that humble Kiwi approach, and she isn't getting above herself at all. And she had a really good game. I think everybody is expecting Ruby Tui to go on and score another 3 or 4 tries, but Ruhani Dement, she had a great game, and you did right. I was going to mention Crystal Murray because she was enormous. I don't mean figuratively, but in her impact on the game. and she was instrumental in the Black Ferns forward noted improvement in the second half as well. But to the Bremner sisters, Alana Bremner and Chelsea Bremner, I thought they had their best games yet for the Black Ferns. They were really impressive. They were, and of course, I'm sure you would agree the young 18-year-old Sylvia Brunt in the midfield there at second five. She's only 18 years old, and she's got a wonderful future, hasn't she? The way she runs the ball, and she dropped that first pass of the game, but everything she did after that was very, very impressive.
Oh, she was tremendous. Yeah, I totally agree. And of course, she's up. She's got Stacey Fluett, who I can't see them dropping for the big games. She's the other midfielder who wasn't playing. So Wayne Smith's got another headache selection-wise there. Smithy wasn't too happy about the work at the breakdown either. He questioned that, and that annoyed him a bit by the sound of it.
Yes, it's. I think there was a lack of accuracy there, and I think when you're dominating a game like the Black Ferns did in the last 45, 50 minutes of that game, and instead of cleaning out, trying to dominate at the breakdown, players tend to get their body position wrong as they're looking for the ball. And I think that just the lack of accuracy and the lack of physicality there in particular, I think he was concerned about. And of course, like defence, it's an attitude as well, John. And but you know, it's hard when you're dominating a game like that to get all of those little things right. But yeah, he was disappointed about the breakdowns, but we've got some outstanding loose forwards there. And you mentioned the midfield. There's also Amy Duplessis to come back into the team, and you know, she's a really good footballer as well. She is. There's some terrific talent in there. Ruby Tui had a quieter game, but she was playing fullback, had the number 15 jersey on in this game, and she did score a beautiful try. But Portia Woodman, she was the star of that game, along with Ruhe Demand, and she was very powerful, wasn't she? Although I have got some concerns about just sometimes Portia Woodman, she draws a man, she draws a defender, a defender, and with an outside player, and she doesn't always pass. She tends to go herself, and I'm just hoping that that's not an indication of early onset of white line fever, and that becomes habitual because it can sometimes. So I hope someone has a quiet little word to her and tells her to respect the support players that she has got and to trust them as well, because there's twice already in this World Cup that she's had an unmarked player outside her, and she's chosen to go her own. Now, she's scored tries on both of those occasions, so you can't be too harsh. But against the likes of England and France, I think, you know, we don't want that to be the deciding factor in a game.
No, for sure. Mind you, she's just so destructive and powerful and fast, and a step. She got a devastating sidestep.
Well, she certainly turned it on Sunday, didn't she? She was magic to watch, and there's a beautiful still photo of her as she's trampled over her opposing Welsh winger and Jonah Lomu like fashion, running over Mike Catt in the World Cup in South Africa, and she's pretty destructive at her best, and she's still got the wheels, and but I think she showed more of her power game as well on Sunday, and that was good to see. We've got, you know, so much talent and so many good selections and form players at the moment. When you look at the likes of Fleur and Duplessis and Sylvia Brunt and Portia Woodman, Ruby Tui, you know, there's just some wonderful players there. So it'll be interesting to see what sort of what the first 15 is that Smithy and Hansen settle on.
Yeah, the Black Ferns, of course, face Scotland on Saturday, and I'm suspecting after that'll be the knockout phase. I'm suspecting Wayne Smith will probably play near his strongest team to as like a dress rehearsal for the playoffs.
Yeah, Wayne Smith did make the statement that everybody was going to get a run in this World Cup, and he's pretty much done that already. Everybody would have started at least one game, but as you do get closer to the knockout stages, and there's only one more game of pool play to go, that's against Scotland, as you said, John. We need to be settling on that top 15. And a good opportunity probably against Scotland to just get some of those combinations right in preparation for the knockout stages, which will proceed the following weekend.
Yeah, of course, I've watched a lot of the rugby, thoroughly enjoying it, and the heavyweight clash between England and France, that was about as brutal a women's match as I've ever seen, physically.
Well, I was parked up watching that game, and I was messaging you, wasn't I, John?
Yeah.
My fat little thumbs were going as fast as they could on the mobile phone. Are you watching this, John? Are you watching this game? It was such an absorbing game. I couldn't take my eyes off it. And I watched NPC semi-final afterwards. It wasn't half as exciting as watching the Poms and the French belt the 7 shades of shit out of each other. That was just magic. And there was two big brawls in there.
Yeah, I know. Fisticuffs in the women's game. Who would have thought?
It was fantastic stuff. And I mean, the Poms were up 13-0, and the French were battling away and hammering the try, and they couldn't quite get over. Then they scored a converted try, and it was 13-7, and the clock was ticking down, and the French just needed another converted try to win and win the game 14-13, but they couldn't quite get there. And quite frankly, they're their own worst enemies. They kicked ball away when they should have held on to it, kicked possession away, and England come away with the game. But that for me was the game of the World Cup so far. And look out some of these other teams, because the English in particular are looking very, very strong.
Yeah, they are. Well, the French made 214 tackles. That's how outstanding their defence was. And I mean, they're obviously a very close-knit side, the Froggies, and all credit to them. But they actually had the England team rattled a bit, and you wonder whether the Poms might be a little one-dimensional. If New Zealand can maybe just match or almost match them up front, you'd think we might have an advantage.
Well, I wouldn't be saying that in front of the English. They
No.
might just make them even angrier than they are at the moment.
I know, I agree.
But I mean, typical French. We've seen the French before. They're an enigma, aren't they? The French. They're either very, very good or they're very, very bad. But they do have an ability to frustrate teams, and they live on scraps. But the impressive thing about the French was their defence. They had a very, very good defence despite losing the game. So look if New Zealand can attain parity against the English, if we come up against the English, which it is possible we will, because we're on the opposite side of the draw. If we can just have parity up front, then I think we've got as good a chance of upsetting the English, because it would be an upset for any team in this World Cup to beat the English Roses. They're a very, very good side.
I agree. I thought their two standout players were their number 7, Marley Packer. She was brilliant, and the first 5, Zoe Harrison, who has definitely got the best kicking game in the competition. So when the Pommy forwards dominate possession, she dominates field position. So you're right, they're going to be hard to beat.
Yeah, she certainly steered them around the field, didn't she, Zoe? And she was I thought she was their best player on the field, actually, watching that game. But yeah, exciting times ahead, and I'm sure there's still some some really good games of rugby to come. It's so exciting, isn't it? I didn't think I'd be this excited about a women's World Cup, Johnny. But I am, and it's like it's fresh and it's invigorating, and there's an excitement about it, and despite them playing in Whangarei and Auckland, it's there's just something exciting about this tournament, and it's about to get a whole lot more exciting as well as we get into the elimination stages of the tournament. So yeah, bring it on! I say I can't wait to see more games of this.
Oh yeah, no, I'm just like you, Brims. I've just had so much enjoyment and fun watching this tournament so far, and it's just opened up the game worldwide for the ladies, and I'm so pleased for women's rugby in particular. There's such an untapped market there for, it's just another form of beautiful entertainment.
Well, it is, and I'm just so happy this World Cup, despite it being the 2021 Women's Rugby World Cup being played in 2022 because of COVID, I'm just so excited, and I'm so happy it's in New Zealand, because this is going to do so much for the women's game in New Zealand, John. This is the benefits New Zealand rugby and New Zealand women's rugby and New Zealand women's sport in general will get from this tournament and its exposure. There's going to be a whole lot of young girls coming through the school systems and the junior systems and that, watching their idols out there playing in a genuine World Cup, genuine women's rugby World Cup, and with goals to be the next Chelsea Bremner or the next Kendra Coxidge, or it's just, I think it's just wonderful, and I really hope New Zealand Rugby Union take advantage of the opportunities this has provided as well for women's sport in general in New Zealand.
Yeah, exactly. The women's rugby team, the Black Ferns, now have genuine household name superstars. Portia Woodman, Ruby Tui, just two of them. It's just, I agree with everything you said. So I would expect the Black Ferns to put Scotland away reasonably comfortably.
Well, you would think so. Australia played Scotland on Saturday and really struggled against Scotland, but come out with the victory in the end, but had to work really hard for it. And I believe Wales beat Scotland in the opening round when New Zealand played Australia. So Scotland is at the bottom of the pool at the moment, and New Zealand's at the top of the pool. So you would expect that New Zealand would win this reasonably comfortably. I would think.
Yeah, we hope so. All right, Brims, we'll wait till next week and another mouth-watering round of matches this weekend. I can't wait, and I know you can't. So go the Black Ferns, eh?
Go the Black Ferns. Come on, girls. Come on. It's great stuff. I'm loving it. I'm loving Women's Rugby World Cup, Aotearoa. Go the All Black Wahine.